Greetings to my millions and millions of psychopaths. You already know who it is. The innovator of backyard wrestling for the town of Old Lyme, Connecticut. The reason why this town knows what it is. I, as many people already know, am a retired backyard wrestler since last year's winter. And I want all of that to change right there. That note is that change. If you're wondering what that note is, that note is the address to the professional wrestling school that is linked with one of the many indie wrestling promotions for Connecticut known as Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. For the past 3 hours, I have been contemplating if I should lace up the shoes once more. And no, not boots, because I never fought in boots. I've never fought in a four-sided ring. I've never been close to one. I've never touched one. I had a trampoline and I had the ground, and with that I cemented my legacy in this town and the organization that I was so proud of being from start to finish. I am a class of 2014 OLW, aka Old Lyme Wrestling Hall of Famer. I'm a 4-time OLW champion, 3-time World Heavyweight Champion, 2-time Undisputed Champion, Intercontinental Champion, United States Champion, Tag Team Champion, and Hardcore Champion. What people called me in my town, they called me the most electrifying man in backyard wrestling in Connecticut history. And I'm not saying all these for people in pro wrestling in general to have high expectations for me, because I'm not a professionally trained wrestler. I've not had one bit of training at all in my life. I fought and submitted my legacy wrestling based off my just instinct and dedication by heart. And by observing matches from indies to pro to places like Ring of Honor and Wrestle Jam, WWE, TNA Impact, I observed those. And I did my best to recreate those moves to the best of my ability. And I managed to pull it off for 3 years of backyard wrestling. I am the crazy one, Crazy J. The established name, Crazy J, for me, has been around for more than 12 years. But fighting under the name of Crazy J, I've wrestled for 5 years. The backyard wrestling was to entertain the people and actually fight for gold for 3 years. And those were just the past 3 years. I want to come out of retirement of backyard wrestling to go to the Indies. I really do. Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling has two friends of mine of Zane Bernardo and RJ Rude. They started as backyard wrestlers just like I did. Except they did have a little bit of professional wrestling training, and they did fight in a four-sided ring in a Newington backyard wrestling organization known as BWE, aka Backyard Wrestling Entertainment. I never got to fight those people, but they are good friends of mine. I've even met Zane Bernardo in person. He came to my house once. And I was so close to fighting in BWE. I had all the contacts with one of the general managers. The matter was I was never able to make it, as they were 45 minutes away from where I live. And I never, ever got to go to one of their shows because no one would ever bring me. But that's not the point. The point is, I want to come out of retirement from backyard wrestling and step into the world of indie wrestling, which has professional wrestling training coexisting with it. I will once again fight for my millions of fans, my psychopaths. I will once again go to a wrestling organization and fight to the top of the mountain, to which it'll be too difficult to knock me down from the top of that mountain. Because when I go for gold, I get what I want. And when I get what I want, it is very hard to take that from me. That's why within the 4 times I was an OLW champion, I was the longest reigning OLW champion with 1 year and 2 months. I say this now, even with no one around me. I say this because I know that the world is listening.